This video is about Bristol archaeology in on the western side of the city. We have a Roman settlement, Abona. We have four Iron Age forts. We've got which is King's Weston Fort, Blaise Castle Fort, Stokely Camp, and Clifton Camp. We also have a couple of Roman roads, a villa which I don't go anywhere near, and a charter, an Anglo-Saxon charter, which came after the Romans, which doesn't really touch on anything else. I didn't really go very near it. I was looking for it on my walk, but I touched on it twice. And one, there's some interesting stuff I could talk about with the charter, but again, the Anglo-Saxons just didn't care about what came before them with the Romans. Doesn't mention Abona or a harbour or anything like that. But I think, and I may have made a discovery, or I've made a classic antiquarian mistake of mistaking my own fantasies for scientific reality. But I wonder whether what's in the Anglo-Saxon is named as the Sweardestan, which means swords stone, is in fact Stoke Bishop Neolithic tomb. It's still there. I managed to photograph it, and let me show you that now. I know what you're thinking. It's somebody's rockery in their garden, but it's definitely marked on several maps from the 1840s onwards. So yeah, I'm pretty confident nobody would leave these massive stone slabs there for no reason. This is Bishop's Knob or something up in Clifton, Bristol, Sneed Park, Bristol. I've never heard of this. I was looking for a footpath. Funnily enough, well, it's not unusual for me, but it's to do with ancient boundaries and what we know of them. I find out on the information board that we have a 700-year-old oak. Now this is a total shock to me. I have taken the path just up there for this very reason, and to find this. I've never heard of it. I've been living in Bristol for 30 years. So yeah, nice surprise. It does mention that it was part of an ancient boundary. I will have to go back and see if I can find out what boundary that is. Do they mean the Old English boundary of Stoke Bishop, which is what we're looking at? What I'm looking at on this video, or is it another boundary? But nonetheless, it certainly is a massive. I can well believe it is 700 years old. A nice surprise. I'm in Sea Mills, Bristol, and which is also on the old map, the Roman settlement of Abona, which is in the Antonine itinerary. I don't think it is Abona. I think it's more likely to be Triectus. I think the scribe mucked up to the last, these two a bona and trajectus in order. Trajectus means crossing. We're on the River Avon and we're about a mile from the River Severn, the Severn estuary, which leads into Wales, and that's the next part of the itinerary, is getting into Wales. So if anything's going to be called a crossing, trajectus, this is it. Though this might not be it. This is quite a piddling settlement. It's a port. I think it's probably northwest of here, but trajectus, but I don't think this is a bona. But there is some interesting stuff in Bristol Museum, some various reports and stuff. It's all under the allotment, which is just over there. But we're about to, this is the point where the River Trim joins the River Avon, and there's loads of Avons in Britain. Avon means river in Old Welsh, and so it's a classic colonisers' mistake, going up to the locals and saying, "What's that over there?" It's a river, and they go, "Oh, it's an unfamiliar word. I name this river," and it's that sort of nonsense. But anyway, we're going to go inland now, up to there's 2 Iron Age forts. I want to go and have a look at it in a big park, and we'll take it from there. It's up the river Trim. There's a real sense of spring now. It's in winter you get that sort of dank, rotting smell, which is nice in itself for winter. But it's so refreshing. You get a very refreshing smell when it's spring. It is properly spring now. It is springing. You know, everything's springing up in the air. This is King's Weston Camp, and it's quite deceptive because it's square in format with the ditch and bank, squarish, and it's opposite a proper Iron Age fort on the next hill, and that's what the Romans did. They'll put a square fort next to an Iron Age fort and bombard the place. But this is in fact Iron Age, and we know because archaeologists tell us. And over here we have here Blaise Castle. That castle there is a folly, but the actual hill is Iron Age ditches around it. But across here, this is King's Weston Hill, and it has not just this Iron Age fort. It also has some Romano-British burials at the far end, right at the far end of that green stretch. And there's the ditch of the camp there. But halfway along it, we also have this semicircular, wobbly ditch and embankment. Archaeologists put it down as a stock pen. There's far better ways to design a stock pen. You can just subdivide a square field and do it. I think it's ceremonial of some sort, probably Bronze Age. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.